From exclusive items to portion sizes, we wanted to find all the differences between KFC in the US and Italy. This is Food Wars. New season, Italy, new host. I want to introduce you to a familiar Food Insider face, Claudia.
Let's start with the original recipe chicken. If you're buying just the original chicken, you can get a 2-piece. One is huge. We also have lots of bucket options, but most of them combine the original recipe, wings and tenders. If you only want the original chicken, the largest size we have is a 6-piece bucket. Looks a bit scary. The other bucket options include a variety of chicken, such as tenders and hot wings. For example, if you want to feed 2 people, you can get the 10-piece bucket. This contains 4 tenders and 6 crispy tenders. And if you want to feed 4 people, you can get this big boy here. This one is a 16-piece bucket and contains 4 original recipe, 4 tenders, 4 crispy tenders, and 4 wings. This is actually the biggest thing on the menu.
In the US, KFC's chicken comes in 4 portion sizes. You can start off by getting a 1-piece a la carte, then a 2-piece with a combo, a 3-piece with a combo, and a 4-piece with a combo. All of which come with the side of your choice, a biscuit, and a drink. Then for the buckets, we have an 8-piece, the 12-piece, and last but not least, this luscious bucket, 16 pieces of chicken. Dinner is served in America. You can get those in either original or crispy. That makes our biggest bucket 166% bigger than Italy's.
I've actually never really had KFC before. Chicken is not so popular in Italy, like especially fried chicken served like that, so I'm really curious to try it and see. Yeah, nice. Not a lot of spices, it's just like fried chicken, which is what we promised.
Let's see how 1 chicken drumstick weighs compared to Italy.
64 grams.
97 grams. Is anyone surprised that the chicken in the United States is bigger than every other country we've done this Food Wars with?
In Italy, we also have hot wings, and they come in a 5-piece and in an 18-piece bucket. This one is designed for 3 people.
18 wings in the US is definitely for 1 person, not 3. I could have 6 wings and then have a full meal.
So they're advertised as hot wings. I think to an Italian palate, yeah, you could say these are spicy.
We also got wings here in the US. Now, currently, at least the KFC I went to here in Burbank has 1 size of wings, the 8-piece. I'm gonna go ahead and take the bones out. Crispy. Heat I can notice that isn't overwhelming, perfectly fine.
Next are the fries. In Italy, you can get 3 sizes, small, medium, and large.
In the US, we got 2 sizes of fries, the individual and the large.
Let's weigh our biggest size.
I never grow tired of that. Is this the lowest we've gotten? We've gone to the same KFC every time. Apparently they have fired that scooper because he or she was being too generous.
In Italy, KFC offers drinks in 2 sizes, a medium and a large.
Drinks in the US get 2 fountain drink sizes, the regular and the large. I will point out to you, Claudia, and the rest of Italy that our regular, the smallest drink you can get at a KFC, is 591 milliliters, which is much bigger than your large. But if you really want your thirst quenched, you can get yourself the big boy. That is a half gallon, 64 fluid ounces, or 1,892.7 milliliters of beverage.
Let's measure the large one to see if that's true.
It's supposed to be 887. Let me just even get it up to 800. Whoa, this is just 800. The messes that this show forces me to make. If you are incredible at balancing and you don't want a cap, I guess this is okay if you're just gonna sit at your table like.
Here's everything that you can get at KFC in Italy that you won't find in the US.
Here's everything you'll find at a KFC in the US you won't find in Italy. We have 1 exclusive chicken option you can't get in Italy. That is the extra crispy. This is probably close to what you get in your original recipe. And then you got the extra crispy. I mean, obviously it's night and day. Volume up on this one. This is regular. And of course, the extra crispy. If you're wondering, yes, Way better. Way more flavorful.
We don't have extra crispy chicken here in Italy, but if you order tenders, you're gonna get original and crispy. It does look much crispier. It also looks, just looks much sadder as well, because it's like literally flopping. At least I can see the chicken, I can see some meat in there. This one is like completely hidden in the batter, like it could be anything.
Another exclusive are the KFC nuggets. You can get these in varieties of 5, 8, 12, and 36. I went with the 5-piece. Now, Claudia, take a good look at this. You in Italy have popcorn chicken. Besides potential size differences, I really don't know what else is different about these.
In Italy, we don't have nuggets, but we have popcorn chicken. We got the large, but it comes also in small and medium.
Quietly, sometime last year, KFC just took popcorn chicken off the menu. And I'm pretty bummed about that. I mean, I like the nuggets, but the popcorn chicken, man, it's just something because they're a lot smaller, and then the chicken to skin ratio is more in favor of the skin. So you get a lot of that savory skin in there. RIP popcorn chicken. You're very lucky, Claudia. You are very lucky.
Were you guys like the guinea pigs for this, or are we the guinea pigs for like a new recipe or something? I think I prefer a whole piece. Like, I think binging on like little bits of chicken, it's like so un-Italian that I'm not sure that I'll be getting used to that.
Snacking on little bits of fried chicken while in a convenient to-go box while driving or walking around is so American, and I love it. I gotta try this. No, this is what America's all about.
Let's move on to the chicken sandwiches. In Italy, we have the zinger. This is supposed to be Italy's version of the spicy chicken that you guys have in the US. I don't know, Joe, how does that look like? Similar?
Yes, Claudia, your zinger sandwich looks a little bit like our spicy chicken sandwich. Here's ours, and we only have pickles on ours, so no lettuce and tomato.
But after I took a bite, you can see there's like some red here. So that's supposed to be the spice. There's like the tiniest spice, to be honest. Then moving on, we have this tiny little thing, the crunchy or crunchy. This one here is on the value menu, so it's more cheaper option. And then we got the Colonel, named after Colonel Sanders. We don't really have colonels here. Nothing we do, but we keep them for the army. I don't think they've ever opened a chicken restaurant. Then we got the double Colonel. Does that mean that another person joined? Then we have the Kentucky chicken and bacon. I have to say this is the biggest bacon that I've seen in like Italian fast food chains. This to me feels quite thick. You can also get this one in a double. And then we have the chicken grilled, so much sauce, sad lettuce hanging off mayo. You can also get the double crispy, which is 2 chicken tenders in a bun.
Here are sandwiches you can get in the US you can't get in Italy, starting down here, the classic chicken little. I don't know, it's just a tender in between 2 buns. Here's what I would do. I would go to KFC, I'd stand in line, I'd order my meal and get one of these, and then demand they give me this while I wait for the rest of my food. It's nothing, it's like an appetizer. And then of course, just the regular chicken sandwich. I have said on record several times that I think KFC might have the best fast food chicken sandwich in America. There's also apparently an ultimate barbecue fried chicken sandwich that was new. I think it came and went.
As an Italian, I'm not so big on chicken burgers. I think the idea of having chicken in a burger doesn't really resonate so well with us. It's like almost hurts my eyes. There's just too much brown in it. Like, I want to see more color.
Yeah, that's absolutely not the case here. As you can see, our chicken is deep fried and covered in a mayo-y sauce. We're eating chicken all the time in America. Yeah, we eat a lot of beef, but we also eat a lot of chicken, and it is in no way diet food here, not at all.
We also used to have twister wraps here at KFC in Italy, but sadly, they're not on the menu anymore. They're still worth mentioning though, because of the hilarious advertising campaign. When KFC launched them in Italy, they actually designed Italian leather handbags supposed to hold your twisters, which is a bit of a knockoff to like the Fendi baguette bag.
All right, we might not have Italian bags for our wraps, but we do have KFC Crocs. Look how cool those look. We do have a couple wrap options. You only get them through the KFC application, which is not how I ordered. Anyway, get the classic one with a crispy tender. There's also a spicy one that I assume is spicier. And apparently you can get 2 of them for $5, which is a pretty good deal, but I didn't get them. Here's a few hilarious things you can't get in Italy. Over here's the famous bowl. Yes, Claudia, I know you're dying to know all about this, so I will tell you now. It is nuggets, mashed potatoes, gravy, corn, cheese, all in one convenient tub. So this would be, I guess, what's considered a bite. It's really heavy. It's gotta be 90% mashed potato. It's a lot. Another American exclusive is this, a chicken pot pie. Look at the size of this thing. I think this would just profoundly confuse every Italian. Here's the thing about the mashed potatoes and gravy. You have to get them together. Having them separately seems very strange to me. It is a classic U.S. side dish, especially with things like fried chicken. Apparently, when Colonel Sanders sold the business, he compared the mashed potatoes in a Manhattan store to wallpaper paste topped with sludge, but that was back in the 70s, so hopefully they've made some improvements. I'd say that they have.
I mean, I know like those mashed potatoes look so dry. I understand you want to put some sort of liquid on them. I just not have any of it. But for once, the potatoes don't look like radioactively yellow, so that should be a good sign. We happen to have some Italian-style sides here on the menu, although I have no idea who called this Italian style because none of these really look Italian to me. We have cheese puff. To me, this look like fried baby bells. That's the only cheese that I can think of that has this shape. I think it's some kind of mozzarella. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we have bread, just like funny bread. It looks very dry just by looking at it. And then we have corn on the cob. The US has off the cob. This is like not Italian. I've never seen an Italian person having corn on the cob. In Italy, we also have 4 salads, but we were not able to get them today. Those are grilled chicken, crispy chicken, an original chicken, which we don't know how that differs from the crispy one, and a veggie salad.
Right, Claudia? Look at that. Look at that mac and cheese. It's American mac and cheese.
I mean, I don't really have thoughts about mac and cheese because to me that's just not Italian. We just sort of gave up on it and be like, you want it, it's yours.
Yeah, I get it. Like bright yellow. But Claudia, what you can't tell is how good this tastes. Other U.S. sides you can get here. Coleslaw. Claudia was talking about corn on the cob. We got corn off the cob, AKA sweet corn. I'm just thinking in terms of the American experience. I don't want to be all like doing this at my desk. Get KFC for lunch, you know, I just want to eat it and get going. So another thing we have here, biscuits. And I feel like you get these with these types of meals because it's good at sopping up things, like good at sopping up the gravy. On their own, they're just so... I want to see if I can eat one like without any liquid, like how long it takes me to eat a dry one. Ready? This is how dry these are. Ready? Timing, go. I'm only halfway through it. Oh, it hurts to swallow. Time. Yeah, not my favorite. Another exclusive you can get here in the US is a piece of a la carte chicken. I feel like if you went into a KFC in Italy and was like, I just want one drumstick, they'd give it to you. I don't think they'd really push back on it. But our menu specifically has, you can get an individual piece of chicken, you get a drumstick, a thigh, or a breast. You get chicken in this hand, famous bowl in this hand, and walk right into traffic. Sauce talk, let's go!
Discorso delle salse. In Italy, we have some exclusive sauces, starting from the original. I know you guys in the US have the KFC sauce. Does this look similar? I think if I were making sauces, I would have just continued, trialing others after this one.
Yeah, it's like a mayo-y barbecue ketchup.
And then we have the smoky barbecue sauce. And then we have the sweet imperial sauce. That's a sweet and sour sauce. Very lemony, but fresh. Yeah, it's a nice one, I like this. Then move on to the too hot for you, jelly-like. It's not too hot for you, it's just too bad for me. Moving on, we also have garlic sauce. I know you guys associate Italy and Italian cuisine with garlic. Please stop doing that. We don't really like it. Then we have a fresh pepper one. This one apparently contains cheese, Tastes like not much, to be honest. We also have creamy curry. Finally, we couldn't get the only olive oil, but we do have olive oil and white vinegar and olive oil and balsamic vinegar. I don't know if you want to consider olive oil a sauce. I have like mixed feeling about it because that's definitely more dressing. Are you curious to see how chicken olive oil tastes like? Let's try it. Olive oil and balsamic vinegar, let's see. Kind of brought it back to life a little bit because it had cooled down. Yeah, I should do this more often actually. It tastes less fried for some reason because I always associate olive oil with like grilled chicken. So if you want to, trick your mind into thinking that you're eating grilled chicken and not fried, maybe all you have to do is pour some olive oil on it.
Honey mustard, honey barbecue. That's good. Buffalo ranch. If you are unaware, we have a sauce here that usually is on wings called the buffalo sauce. It's like a vinegary hot sauce that is a little north of mild. And the reason that buffalo ranch is a thing is because when you eat buffalo wings and they're spicy, you dip the wings in ranch, a second sauce, to cool it down. So we as Americans are used to pairing buffalo sauce on the wings with ranch dressing. So they were like, let's just put it in one. Because God forbid, we have two sauces. But if you want to have just regular ranch, everyone on the internet, come at me, all right? Ranch is just okay. It all tastes the same. Also, we have a hot sauce, a honey sauce.
We have a lot of dessert options here in Italy. Most of them are just ice cream. We start from a plain ice cream cone. Then you can get sundaes. They come plain, caramel flavor, Nutella, strawberry, and chocolate. And then we have these, the cream balls. They come with Nutella flavor, caramel, strawberry, and chocolate. They're kind of similar to a sundae, but they have this crunchy bottom. And apparently the caramel one is supposed to have lots of layers. This is the caramel one, but I'm not sure we can judge the number of layers because it has absolutely melted. So we got a Nutella cream ball and a caramel one. You know those like backpacks for cats? I think it's like the same thing here. Curious about the crunchy bottom. Oh, yeah, that is crunchy. Actually, it reminds me a little bit of, the algida, the cornetto. It may have another name in the US, and they have that crunchy bit at the bottom. I mean, for us Italian, Nutella is like DOG chocolate. Before chocolate always comes Nutella. Just no questions asked. It's always been like this. And before cream as well.
The only exclusive dessert option we have in America is this, a chocolate cake. And it just occurred to me, I've actually never had this cake. Let's see how we did. Perfect. Cooked beautifully. It's got the right amount of bounce. Isn't dried out. And now we taste it. Exquisite. You keep baking like that, you're gonna win this competition. I was started off as Gordon Ramsay. Every impression I do of anyone is just kind of that. This is actually pretty good. Yeah, they had those balls, those cream balls, which is kind of a weird thing to call it. No, I don't want any of those. I get it. I like dessert just as much as the next guy, but KFC, I want to load up on fried chicken. I want to load up on mac and cheese. I want to load up on mashed potatoes. I want to load up on corn. If only someone could put it all in one bowl for me. Dessert, no. I want to eat fried chicken until I'm about to burst, and then I'm out, so.
The exclusive drinks in Italy are 7-Up, Lipton iced tea, and beer.
Fountain drinks you can get in the US. We do have a bunch of exclusives. I didn't get every single one. Relax. All right, starting down here. Sweet tea. Oh yeah, their lemonade. It's really good, it's addictive. And our lemonade is not carbonated. It's still Mountain Dew. It's fantastic. And the reason I saved this one for last is something you can get exclusively at the KFC in the US. There's Mountain Dew Sweet Lightning. It's so good. Like, you just know it's like super sweet and super chemically, but I love it. Other drinks you can get at a US KFC that we not get was Starry and Blackberry Lemonade, which is currently unavailable. Which country is getting a better deal on its KFC? Let's compare a few menu items to find out. Looking at the chicken sandwich combo meal, which comes as a side and a medium drink, this whole thing in Los Angeles would cost you $10.99. Note, if you got each item individually, added up, it would be $12.77.
In Italy, you can also get a similar meal that is called a zinger meal, and that includes a sandwich, a side of choice, and a drink. This will cost you €10.40. At the time of recording, that is equal to $11.52. So that is 5% more expensive than the US meal. If you order these items individually, that will cost you €13.60, and that's about $15.06.
We also took a look at KFC's most expensive items.
In Italy, the most expensive item on the menu is the 16-piece bucket. This one costs €42.90, which is about $47.51. This is supposed to feed 4 people for $11.87 per person.
The most expensive item on the US menu is the 16-piece chicken meal, which includes 16 pieces of chicken, original or crispy, 4 large size, 8 biscuits, and it costs you $52.99. Now, this is meant to feed 7 to 8 people, sure, and it costs roughly $6.62 per person, which is 44% cheaper than Italy's per person cost.
Italy KFC puts a lot of efforts in these meals and special offers so they can be better value for money. Personally, in Italy, we're not really used to having meals. We're very accustomed to just having a big main course. That to me still feels a bit of an American thing, but this is American food, so I guess we're using their customs as well.
If you're operating under the assumption that this is for 7 people, it's a pretty good deal. But you and I both know this ain't for 7 people. We want to see if there are any similarities in the nutrition of KFC for both countries. Now, this is our chicken sandwich, and it has 650 calories. And if you'll notice, there's a lot of salt and fat in this sandwich, over half your daily recommended intake.
KFC Italy doesn't disclose their calories on their website. Actually, I think disclosing nutritional information like calories and everything, I find that's quite an American thing. That doesn't mean it's like good or bad. It's just like we don't really tend to count calories in things.
Every Food Wars we've done, all the nutrition info, all the ingredients info in the US, you can get it, no problem. Other countries, they don't provide it.
Let's take a look at some ingredients that KFC uses here in Italy. Here are all the ingredients for the fries. 9 is a lot. Potatoes and frying oil, how about 2? 2 ingredients and a bit of salt and 1 chemical. Let's just use 1, if we had to.
And here are all the ingredients of the fries in the US. 33 ingredients. That's 24 more than the ingredients in Italy's fries. That's nuts.
9 ingredients for this thing. And it doesn't even hold its shape. I would expect it to be like perfect.
There's a lot of flavors and colorings that we use, like paprika, turmeric, and annatto extract color, which is funny we put that into the fries, but when making this, KFC also uses bleached white flour, which removes all the color, so it seems kind of counterproductive. Like, they're taking all the color out with the bleached flour, right? And they're putting all those chemicals back in to make them look like fries. I don't know why we do that either.
So let's have a look at the ingredients for a chicken drumstick. Italy's chicken uses a lot of flavor enhancers, gums, and stabilizers. For example, xanthan gum and guar gum. They are used in meat products to keep the chicken tender during the cooking process. These gums are also used for chicken that has a butter around it so that when it's fried, it absorbs less oil. As I said before, Italians don't really look at ingredients, nutritional value of things. And that is why I think there is a lot of work done beforehand for us in order to make the food as simple as possible so that if you do look at the ingredients, you're not so shocked by it.
And here are the ingredients of the chicken in the US. Surprisingly smaller than Italy's list. Although the US has not noted what oil they use for frying like Italy has, so it would probably add a few more ingredients. Now, KFC actually uses pressure frying instead of deep frying like the other chains, as it allows for faster cooking time and always keeps the meat moister as less steam evaporates. Let's take a closer look at a few ingredients that some of us may not recognize. Okay, first up, sodium phosphate. Now, it helps stabilize the pH of the food to keep them together, but is also popular over-the-counter medicine for bowel movements. So don't be surprised if eating KFC makes you rush to the bathroom. Next up, monosodium glutamate. Flavor enhancer commonly added to soups and processed meats. We're putting these names on screen, right? This word looks like this and is probably pronounced dimethylpaloxylexane.
Dimethylpaloxylexane.
Is an anti-foaming agent derived from silicone, usually added to oils, jams, and canned vegetables. Disodium, dihydrogen pyrophosphate? This should be a contest. Anyway, okay. Prevents potatoes in the fries from turning brown due to oxidization, which is natural for most fruits and vegetables. And just to add that all these ingredients have been approved by health professionals, and there are no safety concerns as long as they're eaten in lower quantities, which in general is good advice for eating fast food. Chickens in the US are free of added hormones and steroids. However, KFC does not disclose much else about how the chicken is prepared, nor how much chicken is used per item. As of 2019, Yum Brands, the parent company of KFC, stopped purchasing chicken raised using antibiotics. So, I guess they're heading in the right direction.
KFC opened their first outlet in the 70s in Naples for some reason, and that didn't work out and they closed. And then they came back to Italy in 2014. The objective was to open 100 branches in 4 years. They're not quite there yet. As of 2022, the stats say that they've opened 68 branches here in Italy. Although it's been here since 2014, yeah, it does still feel pretty new. Like, Italians are not so big on like chicken, especially grilled chicken. It does still feel like a very foreign idea.
KFC is so popular in the US, maybe the most popular chicken chain, fried chicken chain at least. I think it's like the fried chicken chain to beat in the US. There's other chicken places that do chicken sandwiches, chicken burgers, but as far as like chicken on the bone, I don't know who's even competing with KFC. I guess it's Popeyes. Oh yeah, Popeyes. No, I think KFC is way more popular than Popeyes. I'd say it's better.
If a KFC opens in a new town, for example, in my hometown, they opened last year, there are huge lines. There are a lot of people that want to try it because it's really the idea of the American fast food chain that's arriving. So it's exciting, it's different. Again, it's one of those things that I think you do try it because of the hype.
KFC adaptability is weird. A couple years ago, there used to be a lot more stuff on the menu, and now it's a lot less. So their adaptability is less about making stuff that kind of caters to people's tastes, and more like, no one's getting the wings, let's just do the nuggets, let's take all this stuff off the menu, let's pare it down, go for efficiency, and probably because it's cheaper to have less ingredients. So they've adapted to, I don't know, shifts in the market or people's interest in KFC. They really don't deviate too far dish-wise from like a fried chicken or a chicken in a bun.
KFC is actually the chain that has made the least effort to Italianize the menu. I don't know, actually weirdly, I think that for this it works because the idea of eating fried chicken is so foreign to us that I don't know how would you make that Italian? You maybe put some like fried courgette flowers with the chicken? I don't know. You know, for me to even think about a similar Italian thing, that weirdly, I think this may be working the way it is. So we'll see when they will reach 100 branches, maybe sooner than we think.
Make note of the fun Colonel Sanders doing a cartwheel. Wasn't this guy like 70 when he started Kentucky Fried Chicken? So no way he's doing it. If he's doing that, it's against his will. That's moments before the ambulance was called.